Hello, hello, hello. Hello, powerful souls. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays Live with Laurie Majka. I am the host of the Laurie Majka YouTube channel where we primarily interview people who have had near death experiences, but we also interview people who have had spiritually transformative experiences, out of body experiences, past life regressionists, people who channel. We run the gamut. If it's spiritual and I can go rabbit hole, I'm interested. So if you're new to the live, welcome. We cover a lot of things in this live, but this live is all about you. The reason that I do this, the reason that I wanted to create a live was so that I could interact with people in the audience who have questions. And let's face it, the more that I do this, the more conversations I have, the more times I go to the other side and uncover and feel like I understand, the more questions I have. I don't think it will ever end. I don't think anybody has all of the answers. I would challenge anybody who thought that they did and say, I highly doubt it. So, this is about you, and the comments are for you. So, if you have a question, if you have a comment, I want to hear from you. So go ahead and start writing in the comments. Now, YouTube names are a little bit different. They don't always match your real name. So please make sure you're putting your name in there so I don't have to read out your YouTube name. I really want to take an opportunity to get to know each and every one of you. You've taken your time out of your massively busy schedule because I know how busy we all are and you're here. And I am so grateful for you. So, the first thing I'm going to say to everybody watching is thank you for what you are doing to wake up the collective. I have a lot of ideas on what I want to do today. And I'm going to address one of the comments that I got on a video from Hannah, who lost her son and shared her beautiful story of how that loss for her has turned into not only the worst, most horrible thing, losing her son to cancer, but it has also blessed her life in so many ways. And it was a really pretty conversation. We went deep. We talked about lots of different things. And I got an interesting comment that I wasn't super fond of. And I want to share it with you guys today and talk to you about it because I think it's a great topic to bring up. It's a very tough spiritual topic to discuss. So if you have comments and you have questions, please start putting them in the comment section. And I'm going to just talk a little bit and riff around about what's kind of on my mind. And then I want feedback from you guys also because this channel is for you. I do this for you. I of course have certain people that I'm drawn to and I want to interview. And certain experiences like life reviews, which I am obsessed with still, even now after doing all these interviews. But I want to do topics that you have an interest in. I want to interview guests that you are fascinated by. And if I can get them on my show, I would love to get people on my show. And I'm actually going to share something that I've never done before, but I had a guest share a list of people that they think are intriguing, that are in the spiritual realm, that have done deeper scientific studies on different areas of spirituality. And I think I'd like to review that list with you guys. And I'd like you to make some recommendations about who you would love to see me interview on this show. If you're newer to the channel, even if you've been here for a long time, I've been doing this for about 4 years. I've interviewed well over 400 people now. And the way that I feel like I am different on my channel is because I've been on the other side, I have a different perspective maybe than some other people who do interviews like this. And I feel like it is my job and my duty to ask the deeper questions of the guests who come on my channel. I'm looking for the questions that they have never been asked before. I'm so curious about the nuances of these experiences, about the details of how somebody has to integrate an experience like this. And I had a great conversation with a man named David, who I interviewed today. And we were talking about how this integration process can be so difficult. And for the people who watch interviews like this, I think that there is an expectation that when people have an experience like a near death or a kundalini awakening or an out of body experience that once they've gained this level of knowledge, they come back changed and then their life is somehow magical and perfect. And it's just not true. Everybody who goes through these experiences, yes, they've gained a massive insight because they now know beyond faith that you survived the body, that whatever they've experienced on the other side exists. It's no longer a question of, "Is it real?" It's a question of, "What do I do with this information?" And even though we understand that we're powerful souls, having an experience here on earth and we're supposed to have a purpose and figure out what that is and bring this love in, we're still human and we still react to different things that happen in our lives. We still have down moments. We still doubt some things. We still don't have all the answers. So this is just a really great place to express what you have learned and gained. And it is my intention when I have guests on my show to ask them the deepest question that I can think of, the question that will pull out what I call the gold nuggets, because anybody who's had one of these experiences has really not only gained from the experience, but gained from the process of trying to integrate it into their life. And they hold this level of knowledge and wisdom, and if I can find the gold nuggets, then I get to throw them to you guys. And then you can extrapolate that information and use it in any way that makes your life better. And that's really the goal of what I'm doing every time I interview somebody on my channel. I want to find the answers to the deeper questions. I want to ask them how they figured things out, how they're integrating it. So that's the purpose of the channel, and I'm so glad to be able to spend time with you today. So I'm gonna talk about, first of all, Blaze, come here, girl. Come here. If you guys haven't met my puppy Blaze, come here. This is my girl. Oh, she's such a good girl. She's a German short-haired pointer. I got her as a little teeny tiny puppy. She is such a joy. She's such a good girl, but she's gonna be one. So for those of you who have been watching since she was a little teeny tiny 8-week-old puppy, she's gonna be one on Saturday. So happy birthday to Blaze. She makes my life so much better. She's my everyday hiking partner. She sleeps in my bed with me. She is my constant companion. And I swear to God, if this dog could crawl into my soul, she would. She is the most affectionate dog I have ever been around. So I just feel so lucky and so blessed to have her because she definitely makes my life better. If you have pets that make your life better, I'd love to hear from you guys about it. But I'm going to go back to this comment that I got on Hannah's video. So, reminding you again, Hannah had a son who died from cancer. She had contact with him. He showed her the contract that the two of them wrote together to come into this lifetime. He knew he had created an exit point before he ever came here to have this experience. And as the mother taking on and agreeing to contract with a son who's decided that they're going to experience cancer and leave at the age of 15, both parties had to agree to this. So here's the comment that I got in the comment section. And this person said, if you suffer, it means you are attached. It's not normal to suffer, and then they put it in all caps, if your child dies. Wow, that was pretty harsh. If people get attached to things, it's 100% your fault. This is why people suffer, because they do not understand what's going on and how life works. So apparently, this person has the answer to all of life, but it is ignorance and not love. So, and I wouldn't say that I was triggered by this. I was a little bit astonished by the harshness of somebody leaving a message on a video that somebody had experienced a tremendous loss. This person had not gone through that loss. They didn't indicate that they had had a similar loss, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about non-attachment. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you may have heard me refer to a playlist I have on my channel. I started this channel with 60 videos called Uncover Your Soul's Purpose, What You Don't Know Is Holding You Back. And each one of these videos was an outline of a download that I got when I was on the other side on the winter solstice of 2020. These were divinely given to me in a download that I just transcribed from my mind that became an interview or an outline that created these 60 videos. And the purpose of these videos were to help people to understand that they were powerful, beautiful, magnificent souls, that they had chosen everything in their life and that they had a purpose that they could uncover, that they were energy beings, that they had spirit guides watching them, that we have soul contracts and life reviews and how energy works with the karma, with the all the systems, the chakra systems in your body, and that your thoughts were powerful, and that you could change your thoughts and change all of these different perceptions to make your life better. So that's why I release these videos, 60 of them, one at a time. It is what my channel was literally started with. So one of the videos I talked about is what I referenced in the video as one of the most difficult for me personally spiritual mechanisms to master, and that is what they refer to as non-attachment. So I want to be very clear because the person in this comment was talking about non-attachment, but the way that they were talking about it, it sounded more like what I'm going to call detachment. Detachment is where you say, I really don't care. I don't care about this. This doesn't matter. I don't have to be connected. Non attachment is not about not caring. Non attachment is not about saying, F that, doesn't matter. You shouldn't react like that. Non attachment has, in my opinion, a very deep level of compassion attached to it. What I mean by that is that suffering is absolutely a choice, but sadness is not the same as suffering. So the person's context and really the point of view that they were trying to get across was that suffering is optional. If you're suffering, that's on you. Too bad. Nobody should suffer no matter what happens in their lives. And suffering comes because of the judgment that you put on the action. And I'll give you an example. So let's say that somebody in your life decides to take their own life, suicide, and they die. Suffering would be you are not only sad that you've lost this person, but every day you sit there and you think about the last conversation you had with them, that you should have recognized that something more was going on, that you should have, would have, could have done X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And you suffer because you feel like there was some level of control you could have exerted over that situation. And if you had only done that, the outcome would have been different and the person would still be here with you. That's suffering to me. That's different than sadness, which is a physical loss of somebody that we love. So your body has trillions of cells in it, and these cells don't live from the time you're born to the time they die. They turn over. They they regenerate, and at different rates. There are some cells that stay in your body for a really long time. There are some cells that turn over very, very, very quickly, like mitochondria, super, super fast turnover. You have 100 million billion mitochondria in your body, and you are generating 100 million or a million mitochondria every minute of every second of every day. That's a lot. They turn over really quickly. But if your body as a whole has all these cells, I think it takes an entire year after your cells to turn over so that you have a whole new body. Like every year may not be a perfect copy. I'm sorry, but aging is actually when a cell turns over, but it doesn't make a perfect copy of itself. There's telomeres on the ends of the cell, the DNA that actually instruct how many times your body makes a copy. So aging is the imperfect remaking of the copy of the cell. But let's just go with in 1 year, your whole cells turn over and now you have a brand new body. So I want you to think about this in terms of losing somebody in your life. It could be a pet, It could be a grandparent, a parent, a sibling, a friend, a child, any of them. I think that our body is physically attached, especially when we live with people, whether it's a pet or a person, to another. And there are these physical attributes because we're energy and we're exchanging energy. And so it is very realistic for somebody to experience a loss of somebody, especially that they lived with, and for them to grieve over that, meaning having deep sadness for the physical connection, the energy connection that existed that is now broken and gone. These bonds actually have a feeling to them when they're left, and our cells literally miss that physical connection with another. There's nothing wrong with that. I think you must grieve when you've lost somebody. I think it's not healthy to keep any of those emotions in your body because they can manifest and turn into illness, injury, all kinds of things. The body keeps the score. There's a book that's titled that, and it's really true. If you've listened to my friend Kristen, who's been on the show multiple times, she is a fascia specialist, a Reiki healer, and she often comes across injuries and illnesses in places in people's body where they're holding all of the memory from a trauma from something that's happened. So you have to release that. You cannot just stuff and bury sadness. But the non-attachment is real because it does have to do with suffering. So I think the person maybe didn't say it in the most articulate way or maybe in the most compassionate way. I understand what they were saying, but at the same time, I don't think it's fair to take a spiritual idea, express it, and then have judgment for somebody over it. I think we should always take these spiritual tenets and have compassion for another because you are me, I am you. We are all one source looking out of individual eyes, feeling very siloed in this human experience, when in reality, you are loved and connected to everybody and everything. And I don't mean like kumbaya, so nice to be connected. I mean energetically a part of another, an ocean with a wave that's you and a wave that's me, that's individual and unique and will never be another one like that again. But ultimately, when we die, right back into the ocean, we're all one. So I would love for people to come at these things that they've learned and uncovered with compassion because I think that that's fair. But I'd love to hear what you thought about that comment. So I've been talking for a few minutes now. I see that there are some comments now, so I'm gonna go to the comment section. I'm gonna read a few things. And today I'm gonna cut it a little bit short. We're about 20 minutes in. I'm gonna probably stay on about 20 minutes more because my sister is in town. And for those of you who don't know, my little sister lives in Kansas. I live in Arizona. She's in because I am going on an epic trip leaving on Saturday, coming back on the 23rd of March. I am taking my kids and I'm going with my ex-husband, and we are going to Sweden, Norway, and Finland to see the Northern Lights. This has been on my bucket list for can't even tell you how long, and we're going during dark sky. And so she's come in to take care of my dog and my daughter's dog, and I'm so lucky that she's here, but she's very tired because she's been up since 12:30 a.m. her time, which is 2 hours. So she's been up since 10:30 my time, Arizona time. I'm in the Pacific time zone now, and she's tired. So normally when she comes on, she does reading. So maybe not next Wednesday, but the fall. She might already be gone. But at some point in time, I'll have my sister come back on. But she might come and say hello to everybody. So I've got people saying hello in the comments. From what I understand so far, everything that's there is inside of source. What do you think? Yes, I touched on that for just a second. That was my big aha moment when I was on my medicine journey on the other side on the winter solstice of 2020. I had an experience where source was across the cosmos. I was a higher version of myself. I'll call it my higher self in an energy form. I didn't have any part of me that was human. And I saw a light and I recognized it immediately as source. And it was like across the cosmos. It wasn't really in space where I was seeing stars and nebula. It was more of just a I don't know, a black space. It wasn't really a void. It's hard to understand. I'm sorry, I just don't have words for these things, but Source was moving at me at a very rapid pace. I replicated that pace, and we met in the middle, and I was encompassed within Source, and Source reminded me that it was time to begin doing the job that I came to do, but the biggest understanding I got out of that connection is that there was nothing outside of Source. So, you can talk about anything. You can talk about our solar system, talk about the universe, you can talk about multiverses, you can talk about all the different dimensions that exist, you can talk about ETs, talk about anything. Every everything is within the energy being that is source, and it has nothing to it that is any type of a human form. There's nothing about it in how it thinks and how it exists in the state of love and eternity. Everything was within it because everything was a thought creation, which is really hard to understand that you are actually source having this experience right now. You have been veiled so that you can have your own individual experience for the joy of the collective, for the joy of the source. And I think the biggest purpose that we have here is to remember that you are these powerful, magnificent souls, that you're love on the other side. But then when you wake up and you realize that you're everything, you're each other, you're the source, you're just having this experience here. I think that that is really one of the biggest objects of this game that we call Earth. So, yes. The answer is yes. Okay, your audio has a lot of bug. I'm sorry. You know what? Let me change something. I'm gonna amp better. Maybe and turn it down to a lower gain. Tell me if that makes it better. And I also apologize because when I do these videos, I run them through an editing software. It takes some of that echo off. But I'm in this massive room. Let's see if you can see. So this is my Earth mural behind me. I don't know if you can see, but I'm in like a 12-foot vaulted ceiling living room. This is actually my desk that I work at in my open space of my house. This is a mural that I hung. So yeah, it might be a little bit echoey. Tell me, you guys, if it sounds any better now that I turned the gain down on the microphone. So sorry about that. Oh, it sounded like I was underwater. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Technology on my friend. I'll turn it down a little bit more. Tell me if that's better for you guys. Lynn says, really appreciate your interviewing style. You will dig deep on a topic or experience you guesting for your great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Patrick, hi, Patrick. Patrick, I so appreciate your support on this channel. You are always leaving me comments, you're sending me emails. I really super appreciate you. And Patrick is saying, my tough lesson, learning not to work too hard. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Yeah, I totally get that. There is definitely a benefit of trying to be in the present moment, but I think it's okay if you're working hard. I too am a prolific worker. I probably work 70 hours a week, but when I am working, I do try and stay in the present moment, and I try to find the beauty in whatever job it is that I'm doing, and when I'm not in that job and I'm doing something else, like I'm hiking in the morning, I really make a concerted effort to be present. I found myself this morning, I was climbing an 1,100-foot mountain that I climb multiple days a week, and I found myself drifting to thoughts of this trip that I wanna take in 2027. I'm gonna go do a 110-mile hike called Mont Blanc, and it goes through the Swiss Alps, the French Alps, and the Italian Alps, and I started to think about it, and I thought, "No, I can't think about that right now. It's not the time to think about it. I need to be present on this mountain. I need to look at the sunrise. I need to listen to the birds. I need to watch my dog, my puppy running in front of me, grabbing pulling sticks off of these bushes so she can carry them up the mountain, and I have to check myself all the time because we want to think, and you're thinking you have 3 choices. You think about the past, about the future, or you can be in the present moment. You cannot be in the present moment if you were doing either of those other 2 things. And really, the only thing that exists is the present moment. The future thoughts are a hope of what may or may not happen. The past thoughts have already happened. It's great to reminisce, but it's not healthy to ruminate in those. But I do think that our biggest joy and where we hit the jackpot is when we can be in the present moment. Like right now, I'm not thinking about anything else here with you. I'm not thinking about anything I'm gonna be doing later or anything that's hanging over my head, like editing later on tonight. I'm just thinking about where I am with you and spending this time with you and just basking in the way that I feel so grateful to be able to have people like you who wanted to tune in and connect and ask questions. So, okay. So thank you, Patrick. Yes, counterintuitive, but don't beat yourself up over any of it. Maybe instead just find the joy in the present moment of when you're doing what you would label as working too hard. Uh, Tammy, oh, thank you. Tammy, I love you so much. Um, Tammy, I am just still obsessed about what you told me about your son. I don't know if that's like public information, so I won't say it, but if you want to share in the comments what you told me, it's so cool. I just want to know more about it. And did you travel now? Are you with your son or are you still back at home? Patrick says it feels very detached and egocentric. Oh, you meant the comment. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Um, I'm not sure what your name is on here. You said, "My daughter, my only child, died in 2016. You do suffer. I totally understand that it was her time to go, but wow, that comment was just not true. We suffer the loss of someone we love and we miss them." So maybe instead of using the word suffer, maybe we can use the word sadness or we miss them. I think suffer is equated to the vibration that's a little bit lower that just takes all of your power away. And, I know when I had the loss of Mark, my loved one, I grieved his loss for 4 years. I grieved it hard. I cried a lot. I could be brought to tears by a song on the radio, by different thoughts, and I would go between being mad at him and and being really sad, like wrecked. But I do understand that there is sadness and there is suffering, and they are different things. But I also do not judge anybody who has made the personal decision to suffer in something because it's all our journey, it's all our choice, and there's no judgment about it. Just like on the other side, if you've been here for a while and you've listened to a lot of these NDEs, you do not hear judgment on the other side. Quite the opposite. Over and over again, people say that the only person that judged them was them. So you're on your journey. Nobody can judge it. Nobody is walking in your shoes. It's your life to live. So just do the best that you can with it, right? Okay. And I'm very, very sorry for the loss of your daughter in 2016. I just cannot imagine losing a child. I'm so sorry for those losses. Okay. I know we together in this life while she dealt with her stuff. It was meant to be with her. Absolutely. Our children pick the parents, no question. I don't think it's the other way around. I think we agree to be the parent, but definitely our kids definitely pick it. Please, Seth, can you do me a favor? Will you grab off the printer that list that I printed? Thank you. Okay, Tammy Jealous. So happy for you taking this trip. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited about the Northern Lights. Is everybody thank you, Steph. Is everybody familiar with the Sphere in Las Vegas? If you haven't been there, it's super, super, super cool. I've been blessed. I only live 4 hours from Las Vegas. I have blessed to have been there 3 times for 3 different events. I saw U2 in concert there. I got to see The Wizard of Oz, the regular original movie, and I got to see a show that was just like a nature show there. It's so cool. The experience happens all around you. So if you've ever been to a movie theater or an IMAX theater, the experience happens in front of you. The reason I'm going to where I'm going to see the Northern Lights is because it's in the Arctic Circle, which means you're underneath this horseshoe shape of where the Northern Lights form. And so I'm equating this to if I were to see the Northern Lights like in the United States or in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where sometimes it comes far enough down to see it, it would be like that IMAX experience Where I'm going, it's like being in the sphere. I'm feeling excited about this, you guys. This is I'm so excited, and I'm really excited because this was the Christmas gift that I gave to my daughter and her fiance and my son and his wife, and to get to experience this with your kids, like your adult kids, so happy about this. Oh, and I should mention, I'm going to try and do the live from Sweden on actually, I think I'll be in Norway on that day. The time difference is only 8 hours, that's not the problem, it's will the internet be good enough to support this? If I can join for the live, I'll join, it will be super short, it'll be, I think, at like 11 o'clock at night my time where I'll be, but I do plan on joining for a short time next Wednesday, so if anything happens and I can't join, you guys will know that that was why I wasn't able to get online for whatever reason. Okay, so back to the comments here. Oops, sound is still not good, we can hear you. Okay, I was let me see here. Alright, I'm turning the gain down all the way to the lowest it is. Does that make a difference? Does it make a difference if I talk into the microphone a little bit more closely? Let me know in the comments now if that sounds better. Okay, somebody said, "Hello from Scotland." Oh, wow, what time is it for you? It's gotta be late. Um, oh, I'm so sorry about the sound problems. Thank you for liking the interview style. Let me know if this is a little bit better. Let's see, people just talking and to each other here. Let's see if there's any questions. I don't feel that okay, in that way, but I get what you mean. Sad, do not suffer every day. That's good. Oh, somebody retracted their message. Okay. I'll check back later and see if the sound is any different. I can't follow along. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what else to do about that. I am plugged in and let's see. No, I don't think there's anything else that I can adjust on this. So I'm so super sorry about that. Oh, somebody said better and somebody said massively. So wait, so are you guys saying, oh, okay. Oh, thank goodness. All right. I am so sorry, you guys, that the first part was not good. Okay. Copy again. Oh, I have to talk to the right, so maybe more. Okay, I get it. All right, I'm gonna move this in front of me. So how about that? Okay. So I printed off this list. I told you guys earlier that I would share this list of these resources because I would like to know what you would like to hear from some of the guests who have had things that are different than near-death experiences. So here's a resource for somebody who near-death awareness. Somebody who says, "I see dead people, dream they have dreams and visions of the dying." So there's one. There's somebody that had final gifts, understanding the special awareness, needs, and communications of the dying, the grace of dying. There's a note that says, "This is the best exploration of how the process of death is exquisitely calibrated to bring us into the realm of spirit." That sounds interesting to me. For a summary of her insights on how suffering deconstructs our ego and opens us to spirit. I'm gonna star that one. I would love to have a conversation with that person. If these are resonating with you, tell me in the comments which one sounds good to you. Here's one, NDEs and nearing death awareness in the terminally ill. Okay, and then this one says near death experiences. Key facts about NDEs. Thousands of NDE cases dating from 1877 to the present day, and that's, about the IONS. And so actually, I'm just gonna give a plug to the IONS. If you guys are not familiar with IONS, the International Association for Near Death Studies, they have an annual conference. It moves from city to city. It's always the weekend. It starts like the Wednesday or Thursday before Labor Day, and it ends the Sunday of Labor Day. This year, it's going to be in Seattle, Washington. Last year, it was in Chicago. 2 years ago, it was in Phoenix. I was told by somebody who's connected with IONS today that it would likely be back in Phoenix again, so it moves around, but it's a great place to connect with other spiritual seekers, with people who have had these spiritually transformative experiences. They have these rooms where people can go and share their experiences. Many people have never shared them publicly, have never had any type of an interview that they've done, so and then you get to listen to all these different speakers. There's usually 3 stages all going on at once, so pick your poison if you wanna hear about a hellish NDE at the same time that somebody's talking about an NDE that might be, like, a little bit more famous, or maybe somebody's talking about spirit after death communication, like, there's everything for everybody at these conferences, but I belong to IANDS, I think it's $60 a year, and I do go through some of these posts. Most of them are anonymous, some are not, and I love to read these experiences. So people spend a lot of time curating and writing them, and a lot of times for them, it's the first time they've ever shared it anywhere. And the person I interviewed today said that 1 in 10 death experiences where somebody dies and comes back, 1 in 10 are having an NDE, and in cardiac arrests, it's 1 in 5. So, I think we have millions of people currently walking the planet who have had these experiences on the other side. We are going to be gathering just a wealth of knowledge about all of these, and I always caution, take in what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. Somebody's experience may not align with how you think things work. Maybe it's something you'll come back to later, maybe you never will. I had an NDEer who I interviewed last night, and she did not believe in reincarnation whatsoever. Didn't believe in it, didn't buy it. She was a little bit more biblical based, and I get it. Take in what resonates, leave behind what does not. So, let's see. Mary Neal is on here. I know she had a hellish NDE. Pam Reynolds. How do I know Pam Reynolds? Is she the one who had to have a surgery where they took away all of her senses, including her vision, and maybe they had to take all the blood out of her body and stop her heart, and she had a near-death experience, and it's one of the most clinically validated experiences. I might be thinking of the wrong person, but I think that that might be who that is. Some of these people I don't recognize, and since there's not a lot of detail, I'm gonna skip some of these. Um Characteristics of near-death experiences, memories as compared to real and imagined event memories. So I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, how about this one? Electromagnetic phenomena reported by near-death experiencers. I have said this for a long time on my channel. I rarely have met somebody who had a near-death experience who, after that experience, could ever wear a working watch again. Their body changes the composition of the electricity, how they interact with different types of technology like computers changes, and they usually can never wear a watch again, and that includes hand-wound watches that are just gear driven that should work no matter what, will not work on them. I just talked to somebody in the last week who told me that they could not wear even the gear-driven watches that are never supposed to fail. So, I think that would be a really interesting conversation to have. What about when somebody has changes in religious beliefs, attitudes, and practices following near-death experiences? This was an Australian study that they did. Let's see. Experiences in a Pacific Northwest American population, the Evergreen study. Never heard of that. That sounds interesting. I like this. There's somebody named Kevin Williams who wrote a book about music and the near-death experience. If you've watched my channel, you'll know that every time I have somebody on who comes back and says that they experienced music, I really dig deep into that topic, and I always ask them if they've encountered any piece of music since they've been back that is similar or even comes close to what they heard on the other side. And most of the time, I don't think there's been a single person who's like, "Yeah, here's the music." But people say that they've gotten close and they give recommendations, and I love it when somebody does that because what a cool thing to have somebody encounter and have an experience and then have an aha moment with a piece of music that resonated and seemed similar to their NDE music. So, I think I would love to talk to that person. Oh, here's a person that the person I interviewed today recommended, a woman named Nancy Evans Bush. She said she doesn't know if she's doing interviews anymore. I've never heard of her, and it was called "The Buddha in Hell: When Spiritually Transformative is Confounding," and she had 3 distressing hellish NDEs. So, that would probably be very interesting. Okay, how about stuff like this? This is, a section he labeled "Consciousness, Quantum Physics, and Higher Dimensional Realities." This sounds right down my alley. Alright, how this is really getting into quantum physics, which I love because I feel at the quantum level, we're just all energy, and it explains a lot about why thoughts can create your reality, why thoughts have the ability to manifest, and why I believe that the way that source created everything was with thought energy. But this goes into things like the collapse of the wave function, the central connection of consciousness and reality. He says he has a note written here, "If you wanna go deep with this, get a glass of wine before diving into quantum entanglement, God, and if we might be living in a simulation." This guy is great casual and relatable, so he'll make it fun. Oh, wow. I feel like I definitely wanna talk to that person. What about Dean Radin? If you've been in the spiritual community for a while, I'm sure you've heard of Dean Radin, Radin. He runs the Institute of Noetic Sciences. He is a super technical science guy, and I don't know if he'd come on my show. You know, it's interesting, so I wanna say this. I'm not trying to be negative in saying this at all, but there are certain people who have declined to be on my show because they have labeled my show as too small. They don't feel like the reach is big enough for them the time coming on a show like this, and here's my personal belief and philosophy about that. I believe that you never know who you're going to reach. You never know who you're going to affect with your ripple effect on the world, and that the person that you may reach may be somebody who changed everything because of a conversation they heard with you, or because they got an answer that was a deeper question that somebody asked. I don't love this philosophy. I've encountered it a few times on my channel now as we've been trying to suggest guests, but you know what I love about my sister? My sister lots of things about my sister, but she's fearless. I think that there are people that I would not have reached out to in email because I would have made the assumption that they wouldn't come on. I'll give you a case in point. Evan Alexander came on my show when I had far fewer than 5,000 subscribers on my channel, and I was blown away that he did that. Totally stunned. But he is of the philosophy that it doesn't matter the size of the audience because he wants to reach as many people with his help in waking up the collective, so I love that about him. Okay, how about this one? The Reality of Consciousness, Science, and Non-Duality Conference. Hmm, I'm all oh, Blueprint for Immortality. That sounds interesting. Somebody did a TED Talk on the phenomenon of quantity energy shifting through our microtubules into for his model of consciousness. That's interesting. Nikola Tesla said that everything could be defined by vibration, energy, frequency. And one of the things I've been talking about in anti-aging and in healing is that I've known for a very long time with my background in pharmaceutical, I've felt it coming. Maybe it's clear cognizance, like a clear knowing of maybe what's to come. But I've been saying for many years, like 10 years, everything in the future is going to be healed with light, frequency, and vibration. I really and truly believe that. And they're already starting to come out with massive studies, and I think with AI, they're gonna go quicker and they're gonna uncover more about this. Um, let's see. How consciousness creates reality. Physicists admit the universe is immaterial, mental, and spiritual. It's about time. Oh, um, growing evidence our universe is a giant hologram by Maddie Stone of Motherboard. I read a book many, many years ago called The Holographic Universe. It is not an easy read, but it was definitely in the beginnings of trying to understand. I hadn't been on the other side at that time, trying to really understand and work through things. So anyway, there's some more, but I'm gonna read through the comments and what you guys shared, and I'm gonna star the ones that resonated with you as well and see if I can get some of these people on the show. I'm sorry my Zoom is freaking out. It keeps freezing on me, so sorry about that. This technology. Maybe I'm getting more powerful. Like maybe I'm affecting the technology more. I would love that. My ego would love that, right? Who wouldn't? Okay, love all those experiences. They fascinate me. I do not like evil stuff. I spend too much time alone. LOL. All right, I'm gonna say this since you brought that up. I want to say I do not believe in the devil. I do not believe in a hell at all, especially not as a punishment system. I do not and have not experienced anything but love and light. And when I have been the source of all things in an energy that I cannot even come close to doing justice, there is nothing but love on the other side. There is nothing that could circumvent the quality, quantity, vibration, power of that love. Nothing. It's laughable to me to think that there's anything that could battle God, source. That being is so beyond the power of a human and a human brain to even comprehend. What you would assign as a power from your human experience right now to God is actually the power of you. What source is, you you can't even imagine unless you have had an experience on the other side. And when I say that, it includes me because I have these experiences. I experience this vibration that is beyond anything that I can ever explain. And when I come back, I can't hold it because there's nothing I can latch my wagon hitch onto to say, oh, yeah, let me remember that. It's like that. There's nothing it's like. Not even the undulation of how the energy worked is anything that I've ever been able to experience in this earth plane. So, okay, I think I've gotten through most of the comments. Fearless Sister 2. Hey, Steph, do you want to come and say hi to anybody really quick? You want to peek your head in? Let me put some pressure on her. I'm going to get Blaze because we're going to sign off. My sister and I are going to go out to dinner. And Blaze, here. Come here, girl. Here. Here, guys. There you are. For those of you who do not know, my beautiful sister.
Hello.
She's the one who reaches out. Come here, please. She's the one who reaches out to get all of the guests on the show. So this is Stephanie Teeter. She had her NDE, and we did an interview. She was one of my first interviews.
NDEs.
So, yeah, multiple NDEs, and yeah. So anyway, so thank you everybody so much for tuning in. I am so grateful for every single one of you who are watching this right now, who are watching this anytime in the future. You are beautiful, powerful souls. Do not forget the power of who you are. Do not forget that you are loved, that you are connected to everybody, to everything. What you do to another, you literally do to yourself. And this type of content that you are consuming, when you do that, you are helping the vibration of the entire collective just by reading it, just by watching a video. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have to do something grand to affect the entire collective. You are doing something just by absorbing the content, by thinking about it, by creating these beautiful thoughts that extend to everybody. So, thank you. Thank you so much for your work and what you are doing to wake up the collective. I feel like we're getting closer. I feel like more and more people are waking up and remembering that this is a simulation, remembering the power of their soul. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to wake up the entire collective. It's just a small percentage. So every time you watch a video, every time you share one of these conversations, every time you like it, you think about it, you send this beautiful, magnificent energy into the energetic system that is all of us. So thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope to be here with you next Wednesday, but if I can't, I will absolutely be here on, I think it's Wednesday, the 25th is the one after that. But thank you so much, you beautiful, powerful souls. Go out there and have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.